If you fall in love itself, you become vulnerable to somebody. Without becoming vulnerable, there is no love affair. You have to fall. When you fall, somebody may raise you or somebody may walk over you. But the thing is, the experience of your life is beautiful because you fell, not because they raised you, not because they walked over you, because you could actually have the sense of abandon in you to fall. That was the beauty of your love affair, not what they gave you, what they did to you, this no. The beauty was you sat alone and you think you really love this person so much you're willing to die. That was the most beautiful moment. Not the moment they gave you a big gift, not the moment they gave you a diamond ring, not the moment they said this and that about you, no. You just sat here and you're willing to die. That was the moment. Not just a doormat, you're willing to be the dust on their feet. I'm not saying you should be like that. I'm saying where love transformed itself into devotion. If you fall in love itself, you become very vulnerable, but there are still some shreds of sanity in love affairs that you can recover. But if you become a devotee, there is no sanity left and you cannot recover. So before you trade such a land, you must see whether you offer it or not. What are your goals first of all? If your goal is to make a life, a cautioned, a very measured love affair is good. But your thing is, you want to dissolve into the process of life, you don't want to have a good life, you're not planning to have a good life, you just want to become an explosion of life, you don't care what you get and what you don't get, then you become a devotee. A devotee means, a devotion means, it's your intention to dissolve into your object of devotion.
Well, from the age of 12, I started a process, a powerful system of yoga called Angamardana. Angamardana literally means to have complete mastery over your limbs. This is a powerful way of strengthening your sinews. This has kept me intact through the various rigors of life, variety of injuries, all kinds of bad things I have done with my body. Well, here's my breakfast. It's very important that every one of you stay fit for life. Being fit for life means hardness in the body, sharpness in your mind, and softness in your heart. Yeah. To stay fit, I used to play lots of games, but these days the schedules don't allow, and also too many injuries. So I play a bit of golf, and at least once a year, minimum once a year, I'm in the mountains, 18 to 19,000 feet MSL. Well, that's my medical checkup. I have no medical checkups, that's my stress test. You know what that means, if I fail, I fail. Today we are offering this powerful system of Angamardana to the world in many different ways. Particularly this year, we are essentially focusing on our security forces. We have already trained over 300 trainers for border security force, and they are in turn training their forces. On this International Yoga Day, I will be at Siachen with the Indian Army, and we will be training the Indian Army in some aspects of Angamardana, which is a powerful system of yoga. This is something the youth of India should have. It is our intention that our security forces officers and men have the best.
Mysticism means exploration.
If there is someone here who seems to know many things that you right now do not know and do not understand, he becomes a mystic.
Suppose tomorrow you lost half your money and you're feeling depressed and your mind says, I want to die. Close your mouth, hold your nose like this for 2 minutes. Your body says, to hell with your money, I want to live. This is the most sophisticated machinery on the planet, this human mechanism. If this mechanism is made such a way that half the time it's in maintenance, you cannot call it the most sophisticated.
What's really the purpose of life, if you can give an insight on that?
To live totally means, before you fall dead, every aspect of life has been explored, nothing has been left unexplored. Even if you do not explore the cosmos, at least this piece of life you must know it in its entirety. That much you must do to yourself. That's living totally.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. I have a question. So, does the relationship that we have with our parents impact the course of our life? If yes, how best are we to nurture this?
Namaskaram, Lakshmi. Well, in the yogic science, as we look at life, we look at a human life as a full cycle. If one lives up to 84 years of age, in this cycle of life, which involves a little over 1008 cycles of moon, the first quarter is when the influence of the parents are upon us energetically. In terms of karmic influence, only up to 21 years of age can parentage influence us. After that, we are not supposed to be influenced by them. But for whatever they have done, first of all, they have brought us into this world and many other things out of their love and involvement they have done, we can live in gratitude. After 21 years of age, one should not be influenced by the patterns of parentage, because the important thing is that this is a fresh life. This should not be a repetition of what has happened in the previous generation. So, to a maximum of 21 years of age, there is a karmic influence which definitely influences everybody, but beyond 21 years of age, there is no such thing. It may be purely psychological dependence or maybe financial and social dependence on parents for a whole lot of people, but essentially at the age of 21, this bond breaks. But after that, it's a bond of relationship, of love, of gratitude. Those things can always stay forever. So, we should not look for parental nurture after 21 years of age. We can only live in gratitude for whatever they have done.
One last question, because I know people will say, well, why didn't you ask him about stress? And I'll say, well, because I don't understand, I cannot define stress. There's a lot of things that… a lot of the questions people ask me, and they will know that since I've been interviewing you, they say, but I know that we get addicted to keywords, but is there a definition that we can assign to the idea of stress?
I must tell you this. When I first went to United States a few years ago, wherever I went, everybody was talking about stress management. I really couldn't understand this, because in my understanding, we manage things which are precious to us. Okay? Our business, our family, our money, our wealth, our children, we manage all these things because these are all things precious to us. Why would anybody manage stress? I couldn't get this. When this word was thrown at me everywhere, stress management, I said, why manage stress? It took me a while to understand these people have concluded that stress is a part of their life. Stress is not a part of your life. Stress is just your inability to manage your own system. Stress is not because of the nature of your work. The Prime Minister is complaining of stress, the chaprasi also complaining of stress. In between, every other person saying his job is stressful and unemployed are stressful. They don't have anything to do, that also they're stressful. So you're suffering your job, if I get you fired, will you be joyful?
No.
No. So stress is not about your job, obviously, isn't it? It is just that you do not know how to manage your body, how to manage your mind, how to manage your emotions, your energy, your chemistry. You do not know how to manage anything. You are functioning by accident, so everything is stressful. You get into your car without a steering wheel, or you get into your car, if you turn this way, it goes in the opposite direction. You will be stressful, isn't it?
Yeah.
So right now, that's a kind of mechanism you're driving without understanding anything about it. Just by chance you're going, blundering through life, you will be stressful. So stress is not because of the nature of the activity that you're performing, not because of life situations. Stress is simply because you do not know how to manage your own system. What is stressful for you, somebody is breezing through it, isn't it so?
Correct.
Stress is not situational. It is just an inability to manage the inner situation, not the outer situation. Essentially, the quality of our lives change and transform not because we change the content of our lives, only because we have changed the context of our life. Someone is living a beautiful life does not mean he's doing something different when he wakes up in the morning. He also goes to the toilet, he also brushes his teeth, he also does the same things. But somehow his life is magical and beautiful because of the context. This could have happened to people when they fall in love with somebody. They were doing the same thing, suddenly they are in love with someone, suddenly everything is different because the context of their life has changed. But then once they fall out of it, again the context of their life changes and it becomes miserable. Now, changing the context is something which is voluntary, which is just something that you can do willfully. Changing the content may not be possible as you will. Because to change the content of your life, you need permission from the situations in which you exist, isn't it?
Yeah.
But to change the context of life, you don't need anybody's permission. It is not at all situational. So on a certain day, 3 men were working in one place. Another man came by and asked the first man, "What are you doing here?" This man looked up and said, "Can't you see I'm cutting stone? Are you blind?" This man moved on to the next man and asked, "What are you doing here?" That man looked up and said, Something to fill my belly. I come here and do whatever they ask me to do, I just have to fill my belly, that's all." He went to the next man, the third man, and asked, "What are you doing here?" That man stood up in great joy and said, "I'm building a beautiful temple here." All of them are doing the same thing. But their experience of what they're doing is worlds apart. Every human being, every moment of his life could be doing whatever he is doing in any one of these 3 contexts, and that will determine the quality of his life, not what he is actually doing. How simple an activity you're doing or how complex an activity you're doing doesn't change the quality of your life. With what context are you doing changes the quality of your life, isn't it?
Completely.
See you soon for more discoveries and learning. Don't forget to subscribe and invite your friends to be part of this community of mutual growth.